right,
Los Angeles, the land.
We went overseas to go shit on Dubai. Now let's bring it right back to home, chat, and let's shit on LA. It's time. We watch the LA one, then we watch OTV and Friends after this, then we go sail the high seas. Here we go. I'll tell you, the LA one's gonna be...
Los Angeles, the land of big dreams, flourishing creativity, progressive policies, tropical beaches, and diverse culture. Or a dystopian hellscape overflowing with uncontrollable criminals, rampant substance abuse, abominable infrastructure, abysmal city planning, and the most insufferable, fake, egotistical, hypocritical people on planet Earth. Well,
oh my god, that's me!
to preface this video, I'm sure some of you live in LA, and I'm sure you're all nice people, okay? So especially for you guys, I thought I'd include a quick section, things I like about LA. Number one, cheeseburger. Apparently it was invented in LA, as well as the Egg McMuffin. 2, abundant sunbathing opportunities. The weather's perfect and you got beautiful bodies of water like the LA River and the shark-infested, riptide-laden North Pacific Ocean. Or if you really want to get that tan going, Death Valley National Park. Number 3, Hassan's house. I like it because Hassan has Wow Mao locked in the basement editing TikToks, and I appreciate him getting rid of all my competition on this platform. Number 4, California City. Now, not many people know about this suburban city in Los Angeles County, but personally, I really like the architecture of every single house they built here. And number 5, all the good comedy.
Oh, that's the weird ghost town that was never built.
Films, music, and art that's come out of Los Angeles over the years. After all, LA is the end.
Okay. This one he actually threw in. It's real. LA, music, film, all that stuff. We're good on
Entertainment
that.
capital of America. I mean, the electric guitar was literally invented here. However, the problem with LA being the American entertainment capital is that realistically it's just the place where art gets turned into commercial products that people like this guy can make billions off. This is perfectly portrayed by some of the low-key demonic talk shows based out of LA. James Corden has got to be the most American British person ever, and he possesses one of the most defining LA personality traits. He's too happy. Everyone in LA is too happy, blood. They all think they're main characters or something, shouting down their iPhone 15s with all their shiny white teeth glistening in the sun. I really think that if any...
Guys, I think we should move on from this video right now. Guys, I listen, I'm having a great day. We should maybe...
If these delusionally happy LA freaks were forced to eat a soggy Tesco meal deal waiting at a freezing wet bus stop sat next to a passed out cheesehead in the outskirts of Birmingham, they would just revert back into being normal humans. Angelinos have got to be the most clout-minded people on the planet. You can get anything.
True.
In LA if you got some clout. For example, Big Arnold was the state governor for 8 years. Now, I think the guy was great in Terminator, but what the f does he know about governing a state? This is just a famous old man from Austria with a severely lower than average brain capacity due to taking enough anabolic steroids to kill a dinosaur in the 70s. Really, Los Angeles is just a valley full of hopeful people trying to achieve their dreams, which sounds nice but ends up as a pyramid of fragile egos in which each individual is desperately leeching off whoever is the next level up in a frantic thrashing competition to get from the deep sea to the twilight zone. And I think the people...
Is this about me?
Peak of this LA main character syndrome is the internet niche where so-called influencers film themselves giving out money to homeless people on Skid Row, either to make profit or to make clout that leads to profit, or just purely to stroke their own egos. But like, oh, congratulations, bro, you just funded like 27...
Okay, I've never done that. At least I've never done that. Listen, like, if you're gonna make content out of stuff like that, you do it with like genuine like charity causes that like a lot of people do, like Jack does for Thankmas, the Roomies did for their like charity week, or you go like really all out like Mr. Beast does. But you know,
over and people will applaud this stuff in the comments, saying like, yo, politicians would never help these people out like you do. And I think the target audience for this type of content is like Republican dads. And I find it so funny when patriotic Americans who love their financial individualism also wonder why their downtown is full of drug addicts and why the politicians they vote for don't do anything to help this crisis. Bruh, this system you are so proud of literally incentivizes doctors to prescribe people thousands of medications they don't.
On a note right here, we sometimes briefly touch on politics on the show. I do think it is very interesting that a massive criticism from the West towards countries like China is sort of the fact that when world leaders go over, whenever there's any event, there's like almost this sort of propaganda in place to make their cities appear better, greener, cleaner, etc. And we have like that sort of like sense that there's this all propaganda of the image of, say, like a Chinese city. And then when Xi Jinping comes to San Francisco and meets with Biden, we're like, oh wait, we do the same shit, because they literally just like fucking shipped all the homeless people in San Francisco out of the city during the visit, which, you know, anyways.
Don't need. The selling of medicine in the US is literally a pyramid scheme. Just instead of getting Sigma males to sign up to Hustlers University, we're getting vulnerable Americans addicted to opiates, leading to drug epidemics like what we see in downtown LA, specifically Skid Row. This area is pretty much a no-go zone, even though you can still find hipsters munching away on their avocado toast in these apartment blocks, looking out of their penthouse windows appreciating the gritty urban environment. Hipsters have absolutely taken over the hoods of LA. I mean, there are literally coffee roasteries in fucking Compton. Despite this being the situation on the streets, LA is one of the most expensive cities in America. We're talking Switzerland level prices. We're talking Monaco level prices. We're talking Iceland level prices, not the shop.
Yeah, okay, no, but this is okay. I actually will interrupt. This is this is where like there's bias in these videos, and you guys do have to pause. And I can't speak about it with Dubai, but I can with LA, only because I know LA. LA is massive. People don't understand this, that LA is just absolutely massive in terms of surface area. So when you look at the prices in LA, it really depends where you are looking. So it definitely still is overpriced, but you know, again, when you're showing like some town in Switzerland and then you're showing Skid Row, it's like, well, but you're not really showing like the Beverly Hills area. You're not really showing Santa Monica. It's just extremely spread out.
The country. So to demonstrate how expensive LA really is, I opened up Zillow and set my location to Los Angeles. How much do you think this old crusty bungalow is going for? Pause the video.
This one's gonna be, I can tell you this one is 1.2 million.
Video right now and make your guess.
1.2
and $2.8 million. What about this literal bando which was absolutely destroyed in a fire? If you look closely, there's no roof. Also, instead of a garden, the house backs onto a constantly congested, noisy, fume-emitting 5-lane freeway, and across the street there's what looks to be a rubbish dump. Take your guesses, folks. 400 grand for a fucking bando. Alright, finally we got this one. It's got a pool and a fire pit, guys, so you already know we're talking big money. And whilst it's obviously nicer than all the others we've seen so far, it's still one story tall. Remember, this is just a glorified flashy bungalow. Alright, pause the vid and make your guess now.
I mean, I don't know if this is from somewhere else, but if this is in LA, it's 8.5.
You are wrong. It was none of these options on the screen, because this house is currently on sale for $85 million. Maybe after seeing these ludicrous property prices, you get a better idea why so many people live in tents. Out of the American homeless population, 40% are employed and work jobs. They literally just can't afford housing. But to really get your empathy going, you can watch me doing a homeless challenge for 48 hours in LA whilst I get thousands of dollars in ad revenue to fund my cool Venice Beach artsy hippie house, where me and my politically correct friends make thought-provoking content. Skid Row is only...
This guy really doesn't like Yes Theory, does he? I think he has a bone to pick with him.
One of the many neglected...
I like Yes Theory. I kind of disagree with his take on them.
and unsanitary parts of Los Angeles. Another example is the LA River. Once a picturesque, crystal clear, gold-rich waterway, now is one of the most polluted flowing bodies of water in the world.
Hey, this is why I said no poop panning in GTA, by the way, because it's based off the LA River.
Basically, the snowmelt and rainwater from up here just passes through the city, sucking up so much industrial and urban waste that it consistently reaches 100 times more E. coli than the federal guidelines allow. And it finishes by dumping potentially lethal bacteria, lead, mercury, chromium, dioxin, and many more dangerous substances right into the San Pedro Bay, a popular swimming spot for tourists and Los Angelians alike. But there's another massive water-based problem in LA. Lawns. That's right, look at all these
I do hate this. I hate this about, this isn't just an LA problem. I hate this in the US. I hate lawns, dude. Why the fuck do we have lawns? Just go to a park, bro. Like, we just maintain a park. I hate lawns.
lush green American lawns in the middle of what should be the desert. Yeah, Californians are so proud of their stupid lawns that they're willing to risk hefty fines, poisoning their entire garden using paint, or more importantly, potentially causing devastating environmental disasters. This is because LA is naturally super dry. They get all their water funneled.
Also, hot take, but like those, like the desert style like lawns, like the ones where it's like mostly like sand, gravel, and then with like cacti and stuff, look great as like features.
Down from northern California. This really messes up the natural geography of California, since the ground in the north doesn't get as much water as it naturally should because it's all funneled south, and in the south crops and plants are grown where they're not naturally meant to exist. Essentially, the northern plants dry up enough to become fuel for fire, and the southern ground acquires plants which act as fuel for fire. That, paired with the recent dry winters and record-breaking hot summers, inevitably provides the perfect circumstances for record level wildfires. I don't know, I guess you guys must just love those annual XL bonfires you've been hosting for the last few years. And whilst the cause of these fires,
the wildfires are really bad,
might seem very obvious and simple to you and me, some Americans have taken to blaming wildfires on, for example, UFOs who've somehow used lasers to set all of California.
I think this is one thing that I actually do hate about LA. Sometimes California, but sometimes the US, is like when there are known problems or things that we do, is like people just come up with the most fucking insane reasons for why they blame shit. Like just absolutely stupid fucking reasons for why they would blame something one way or the other. I hate that.
California on fire. I do actually think this map of UFO sightings explains all you need to know about the type of people that live in Los Angeles.
Now this is an issue. When I watch a video like this, there's making great points, but like, chat, couldn't I also just say that this map of UFO sightings represents population density? Like, I get it, it's a funny like little bit, but like this actually comes down to a criticism of LA and a criticism of cities in general. Everyone will blast like, oh, but Chicago has this, LA has this, New York has these problems, blah blah. It's like, yeah, because it's a bunch of people living together. This is just population density. Welcome. They're like, it's like, oh, there's no homeless people in my town. It's like, yeah, because you're not in a city. Every single city has a homeless problem, except for some of the ones up north because it's too cold for them to live. Obviously, the homeless problem in San Francisco and LA and any of the California cities is going to be worse because it's easier for them to live there, right?
But can you really blame them when they have some of the worst public...
Is the drug use density? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Is drug use higher per capita in LA than it is in other areas? Maybe. I mean, probably because they have more access to it, because again, it's like that's where a market would be. I mean, that's also like, it's like, let me put it to you this way. When you say like, is drug use higher in LA? It's probably like, yeah. So is like access to good food. So is jobs. So is like a lot of other things, because it's like because there's certain things that are all just correlated with the fact that it's a metropolitan area, right?
Schools in the country. It turns out the private schools are just as crazy and awful, and obviously kids being unable to access an acceptable level of education.
Oh my God, $20 top chat in the YouTube. Where's our top chats, Twitch? $20 top chat said, I can't draw but I'm going to anyway. Blau, you're my hero when I grow up. I want to be like you. Wait, did you draw something? I can't see it. Did they draw? I can't see if they drew something, but thank you. Oh, Twitch does have hype chats. Oh.
Has a clear correlation with homelessness.
Terrence was taken. Shake Shack is not good food. I mean, I will always wreck chat with this debate, but the cities with the best food in the world are Paris, New York, Los Angeles, and probably a few, sure, you can put a few others in. And do you know why? Because they're metropolitan areas with large populations, and they have a lot of diversity from migrants, so they have a lot of different food types. And you'll never be able, I'm sorry, but your town in, like, I don't know, bumfuck like Missouri or Ohio is not going to have the quality and diversity of food as Los Angeles or New York. I'm sorry.
But no, I don't want to use my damn money to fund no damn public sector. But I also don't understand why people are so damn stupid and can't get jobs nowadays and have to live in homeless camps. God dang it. Regarding schools though, I don't even know how kids are supposed to get there in LA. I don't know about you guys, but when I was young,
I would genuinely be worried about raising kids in LA, partly because of the education systems. But this is also another issue in, like, the US in general. Dang, you went straight for my state. I'm so sorry. Wait, they're getting rid of hype chats? Oh no. I'd be worried about raising kids, period. True.
95% of my classmates walked to school or got the bus. Can you guess what percentage of LA commuters walk? 2%! Bro, no wonder you guys have that problem everyone makes fun of you for. And I find
actually Los Angeles doesn't have too bad of obesity. Relative to the rest of the United States, by the way. But fair criticism on everyone driving in LA. You can't walk in LA though? Yeah.
I find it hilarious that 53% of Californians say they care deeply about their carbon footprint. Like, LA isn't even in the top 70 highest populated cities, but has the 5th highest carbon emissions in the world. I've also found that Californians like to brag about their state having the top 70 highest populated cities.
I don't know if they're looking at this correctly. I think this might be wrong. I think they're looking at the city of LA. I think they're I actually think they fucked this up. I think this might be complete misinformation. I believe they just compared the city of LA, like literally city of LA, not the broader Los Angeles area.
But and then has the 5th highest
urban cluster. Yeah. Chat, I want to pause here because this is just like an important thing when you watch content and videos in general. We should be critical in our lives. This is something I try to preach on my channel. I like this video. The creator's great. I've been enjoying it. I'm down to roast LA. And LA has its problems, but this is factually incorrect. They're saying that broader urban cluster and like what population. Yeah, the population of what would be considered the urban cluster of LA is 9.8 million. So when we go back to like this and they're like, oh, the city population's only 3.9, and then okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not comparing the correct things here. So
LA isn't even in the top 70 highest populated.
Yeah, and then cities, actually, for all we know, they're talking about for all we know, whatever urban cluster means. Also, actually, that might be the broader metropolitan area, which would be around 13 million.
The 5th highest carbon.
So, I mean, this is just wrong.
Emissions in the world. I've also found that Californians like to brag about their state having the highest vegan population in America, as if that's some.
Hey, chat. How do you tell if someone's vegan? Yeah, they'll tell you. Nothing wrong with being vegan, by the way. Nothing wrong with being vegan.
Some kind of beneficial thing for the environment when the state's avocado and almond farms require 2.1 billion bees to be flown in from around the world annually, 30% of which die in the process. Plus these farms use around 28 billion gallons
The avocados, and then there's one other crop that are really bad, and I forgot what it was.
of water a day, which is literally cannonballing the state into ecological collapse in the form of hellfire. I mean, I've got to give it to them. It really is quite the feat to not even have a population of 4 million and still rank top 5 for carbon emissions.
See, that's the problem, though, is he's still going in it, and it's like that you didn't compare the correct stats.
I wonder how this is even possible. Oh, I get it. Los Angeles specifically is one of the worst.
Now, this I will agree with. I fucking hate our traffic, and oh my god, it's about to get a lot worse because I-10 burned down.
It's
almonds, that's right.
Controlled urban sprawls on this planet, with its 26-lane highways and absolute lack of functional public transport. And I know all the America cells are right now commenting how cars are so much quicker and efficient. So explain.
No, I want fucking high-speed rails. Have you guys ever seen that infographic that shows the high-speed rail systems in China in 2008 versus the ones in 2000? Oh my god, let me pull this up. Blau being a China shill again. Oh my, chat, I'm gonna warn you. I'm gonna warn you. Content warning. For those who love public transit and trains and good infrastructure, I might be showing you pornography right now. This literally might be considered pornography for you. If you love good infrastructure and high-speed rails, this, oh my god. Oh my god. We're gonna fail November. Look at this. In 12 years. In 12 years. That's so fucking hot. We should watch the video. I don't know where it is. Cramsy, look for it. There's a video of like, I don't know if it was in a single day or if it was like in a few days, but like like Chinese infrastructure projects are crazy. They were able to build an entire like massive fucking train station in one day. Like American infrastructure is literally like GTA 5, where like that one building next to the Maze Bank Tower is still under construction for 10 years. Like that's what American construction is. It's like they're always trying to fucking build something and it never gets done. Whereas their shit, they built it in like a day. Oh my god, yeah, we're gonna watch that video next.
In this, it literally takes 3 hours to drive from one side of LA to the other, with traffic jams consistently lasting hours long. Really quick and efficient, huh?
I think one of the like really big downfalls of the United States that will plague us into the 21st century was our reliance on highway systems and the automotive industry. I think will actually be like a massive like hurdle for our country in the 21st century, because even some of the best innovations that we've developed are still based around the car industry.
Turns out building an extra 20 lanes on highways to fix traffic is like printing more money to fix inflation. You'd only think it's a good idea if you went to Los Angeles public school. In 2008...
Ice Sky, thanks for the 3 months. This critique of LA, but also a lot of the US is phenomenal. As someone in NYC, I would love it. Our system needs an update. Let me tell you guys something about NYC. Of every single county in the United States, there is only one, and I'm talking about the entire United States, there's only one where driving to work is not the primary method of transportation, and it's Manhattan. It's New York City. Oh my god. Foozley's in the YouTube chat. Oh my god. Hello, Foozley. Hey, so Leslie, I started streaming on YouTube. When do they send me the contract? So this is, I think, my this is my 4th stream, chat, 5th stream. When do they send the contract in to me? I'm still waiting for that's coming, right? Like, oh, also also my last video, my last YouTube live stream got demonetized. The 6-hour stream got demonetized for 2 minutes of a song that I played. That's like an error, right? I will tell you guys this. Having set stuff up for YouTube streaming and Twitch chat, please don't turn on me for this. The features on YouTube streaming are actually like, I am not sponsored or anything. I actually do think YouTube has better streaming features. So anyways,
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, he promised
Welcome
to develop
to the stream,
a high-speed
Boozley.
rail link from LA to San Francisco.
Dude, where is this? Wait, Leslie's also in the chat. She's been in Cali for so long. Where, I swear, since I've moved here, I have always heard about this. When are we getting the high-speed rail from LA to San Francisco?
Major West Coast metro areas, which would benefit massively from high-speed rail, since your current options to travel from one to the other are: 1. Die of boredom festering away in a car for 6 hours.
Oh, God.
Option 2, 9 hours on the Greyhound bus, which will probably switch drivers like 8 times, leading to around 12 hours of waiting around. On this mystical journey, you can expect to smell a relaxing fragrance of In-N-Out cheeseburger farts being recirculated through the bus via the AC. Or
Bro, the fact that there is not, the fact that there's not a high-speed rail system that goes from San Francisco down to LA and then down to San Diego, and then from some part in LA goes like east to Las Vegas is insane to me. What's the speed? High-speed rail, San Francisco to Los Angeles. Dude, 2 hours and 40 minutes between San Francisco and Los Angeles. I want to be clear. That is faster than flying because of all of the bullshit you deal with at the airports. Bro, it's not an earthquake thing. Oh God, I don't want to get too political on you guys, but like, I mean, for those who are European, but also I guess my Americans can learn about this too. But like, we like the United States has a big issue in that we have no big spending for broader infrastructure projects. If you guys, this is a really fucked up kind of take or position, but basically the United States has to be at war to create massive infrastructure. That's how our highway systems were developed. That's how our space program was funded. We actually have to be because then we're like, listen, build it like our 8th fucking aircraft carrier, say less. Build high-speed rails, fuck that. But if I were to be like, yo, we need to build high-speed rails to transport F-35 fighter jets from San Francisco to Los Angeles, I could probably get that approved. Like that's, by the way, that's why the highway system in the United States even exists in the first place, because Eisenhower insisted on it as a way for us to move our troops. So I would basically have to be like, yo, we need a reason to have these high-speed rails between these cities for military purposes. Otherwise, you can't do it. That's the reality of the United States. We're going to get to another country that doesn't have that reality in a second, and we'll watch
Option 3, you could fly. American airports were originally designed to be very efficient and smooth to pass through. But ever since, you know, they've been a bit, let's say, paranoid. Which means LAX and SFO aren't really designed to accommodate.
I don't know how much he goes in on this, but I will also say LAX is by far the worst designed like LAX as an airport is a nightmare. It is actually one of the worst experiences ever. And what's really crazy is that you even have like this is how fucked up some shit is in LA. Sorry, not in LA, just in the United States. You now have airport lobbies, or not airport lobbies, airline lobbies trying to take out other competition that challenge this mode. I don't know if any of you guys have ever flown JSX. A bunch of us fly JSX from LA to Vegas. They're like smaller chartered private jet. It's not like we're paying for a private jet. It's more like they're smaller private jets that you go into and then fly. I'm not saying like, oh, we charter the PJs. But like the cost of the tickets is oftentimes the same as the cost of a normal flight. Like a couple $100 for the tickets. Like JSX, since we're not so rich, typical LA influencers. Okay, I think I spoke wrong. They're housed. Sorry, what am I thinking? No, they're housed in the same runways and taxis as private jets, and they're like the same size as private jets. No, they're not. Oh God, I'm not saying this. They're not private jets. They're smaller jets. We're definitely not chartering private jets because again, you can fly like LA to Vegas for like, yeah, they're regional jets, city hoppers. Someone in the UA charter jets. Anyways, JSX to Las Vegas is about the same price. Honestly, it hit or miss. Sometimes it's cheaper. Sometimes it's a little bit more expensive. But literally, you pull up to JSX. And like you can show up 20 minutes before your flight. You can show up 20 minutes before your flight and not have a bead of sweat. Arguably with JSX, you can show up like 10 minutes before the flight takes off. And then you land and then boom, and then you're there and then you're just out. And it's just like that. Southwest and I think one other airline are literally trying to like shut them down because of FAA compliance and a bunch of other shit, despite the fact that they have perfect safety records, which is insane to me. Zenyatta, thanks for the 7 months.
Stricter security checks than if you were entering the White House. So we can all add, as recommended, 2 hours and 59 minutes to the flight time. Oh, unless you're a...
By the way, I don't know if you guys have watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. God tier show. Bunch of stuff about LA. The Palestinian-Israeli conflict, we're not going to touch on because that's not, what we touch on this stream. But if you ever want to break from it and want a really good laugh, I highly recommend the episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, the Palestinian chicken restaurant episode. God tier episode, really good.
Arab male that has a beard, you are going to be intensely interrogated by terrified airport staff for over 6 hours. And then we have the proposed high-speed line, 2.5 hours. It blows all other options out of the water. This is such an obviously good idea with so much potential to make money. I really hope no one messes this all up. 15 years later, the line has already costed $128 billion dollars. They are currently planning to open stage 1 in the 2030s with neither Los Angeles or San Francisco as part of it. Oh, that's right, they did the middle bit first. Apparently so the government can gauge the profit margins and public reception and then hopefully fund the rest. The only problem is that the whole of this middle bit looks a bit like... That's right, instead of addressing any of the issues in our state, like public education or homelessness, that Geopold has already addressed in this video, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars connecting the two booming, well-known, iconic Californian cities, Merced and Bakersfield. I do find it funny how some of the Americans I've been referencing in this video would collapse out of sheer mental pain if they had to pay $1 of their money to the government to be used to provide essential education or essential healthcare or essential shelter. And these same guys don't even know the government has spent hundreds of billions of dollars building a train that connects cities like fucking Madura and Merced and Tulare. And I thought nothing could top HS2 in terms of overspending. And at this point,
I just want to look at it again. I just want to look at it again real quick, chat. Hold on. I just want to look at it again real quick. Oh, God. In 12 years, they built it. No. Man.
You might be completely in despair, wondering what on earth can we do to fix all these problems? Well, my solution is we should just give this land back to Mexico. If there's anything these Angelinos need to burst their delusional, optimistic, smiley, happy bubbles, it's spicier food, high-speed trains, and more narcos.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is really important.
Need to burst their delusional, optimistic, smiley, happy bubbles. It's spicier food.
I'm going to tell you guys one of my biggest icks ever in Los Angeles. And this also occurs in San Francisco. You open up Uber Eats, or this is already a privilege of me opening up the Uber. So I pop open the Uber Eats. I'm like, oh, damn. Let me get some tacos. And you find some taco place. Looks pretty good. I'll get some. You order the tacos. And it's these stupid, like, LA gentrified tacos. Cost me like $30 for like 2 tacos. And they like overloaded it with like guacamole and like a zesty lemon and some other random shit. And it's the blandest tasting shit ever. That's why the burrito that I order from, the one that Psych ordered from me, that's the real shit. That's like, it's dripping grease, and like the spicy sauce actually fucking puts some heat on your face, some beads of sweat coming down, and lets you explode on the toilet the next day. Like, give me some good fucking street tacos. Don't give me this. I hate the like gentrified tacos.
Food, high-speed trains, and more narco violence.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good video. Anyways,